Hello, good morning everyone. Nice to be back here. How are you all doing? I really hope all of you are staying safe and sound. Okay. Before we start, I'm taking this opportunity to thank Unit SSTP Kedah for giving me this wonderful opportunity to meet you all online again. Okay. Hello again, I'm teacher Shameela from SMK Gurun, and today I'll be taking you through Unit 11, Lessons to Learn, lesson on speaking. Okay, so I hope you have got your close-up textbook ready with you. Yeah? Okay, let's move on to the lesson today. Okay, before we start, these are the content standards and learning standards which are associated with this lesson. Yeah? Okay, for content standard, main skill speaking, communicate information, ideas, opinions, and feelings on familiar topics. Okay, so it's going to be you talking about speaking, yeah? Talking about things which are familiar to you. So, and next, you also have reading skill incorporated, where you need to understand a variety of texts by using a range of appropriate reading strategies. Okay. I would like to take your minutes for you to refresh on learning strategies. Yeah, if you have followed my previous lesson on Unit 9, I've shared some strategies for you to be used when you're reading. Okay, it really helps. Okay, to set your understanding of the text. Right, good. Next, we have learning standards where we need to have speaking 2.1.4 where you explain your own point of view. Okay, so it is actually relatable, yeah? So you have your opinions and of course you need to express. So when you're expressing, you need certain skills and strategies. Okay. Next, reading, guess the meaning of unfamiliar words from clues provided by other words and contexts on familiar topic again. So it's going to be something which is common to you, and you're going to be using the clues to make sure you understand the meaning. All these are strategies here. So deep down, what is important is to make you understand and make others understand of what you're thinking, you're writing, and talking. Okay? All right. The students, I hope all of you had your breakfast as well. Okay. Since I said this is a lesson on speaking, I'm going to start asking you a question. If you're given chance to choose any of these magical creatures as your pet, which one would you choose? Okay, maybe you're not familiar with this, but I can share. These are from Harry Potter. I'm a big fan of Harry Potter, and since I love them so much, so I try to introduce this to you today. Okay, if there are any Harry Potter fans, please say hi. Right? Okay, we have Buckbeak, we have the Niffler, and we have the last one, we have a Bull Trucker. Okay, you see, when you choose or you decide to express your opinions, you should have reasons to explain why you choose and what you need to make that choice. Okay, so I'm giving you, in case you're not familiar, Buckbeak, the first one is half horse, half eagle, yeah? Okay, so it can fly. So it can fly, meaning you're looking at a positive aspect. So always we choose something positive so that we can make a choice. So here it can fly. Let's move on to the second animal. It's called a Niffler, very cute. Looks something like a platypus. Okay, do you know what a platypus is? It's an animal from Australia, yeah? So here, Niffler, he can find gold. He loves all these shiny things. So that's his positive value, okay? And finally, we have a boat trucker, small twig-like plant, green plant, where it is very magical It can unlock anything. Can unlock anything. Okay? It can pick locks, any types of locks. That's his special magical power. So which one would you choose as a pet? Okay, why I'm sharing is because these are magical creatures and you have reasons where you can apply and you compare. Okay, I want to fly, but I'm scared of its look. I want a niffler, but I'm scared it might get me into any problems. So you try to weigh your positive and negative aspects before you choose. Okay, so this is just a warm-up session. Let's move on, yeah? Okay. Why am I talking about speaking? Okay, it's very unfortunate that dear Form 3 students, you have had your PT3 postponed, cancelled. Okay, if not, you would have been assessed for your oral assessment maybe in the month of August. Okay, usually it comes in August, July, August, September, yeah? So this is the sample instrument I'm just sharing. So there's a need for you to know the strategies to improve your speaking skills. Okay, today, if you realize, I'm going to take you through speaking with the help of the Harry Potter cast. Okay, so we had the magical creatures. Now here, this is Professor Dumbledore, one of my favorite characters as well. So he's looking at you. Okay, so in school, he's the principal, yeah? So this is the reason I'm actually introducing you to the strategies. Okay, this is the purpose of why we have the speaking lessons in the first place. Okay. Okay, we have had papers before, but the new speaking paper which you are supposed to be exposed to, I'm sure you have done this in Form 1 or Form 2, okay, maybe Form 1, yeah? So it is something special because it is aligned with CEFR. Yes, what is that? It's actually Common European Framework, and it's from Britain, yeah, United Kingdom. So you have Queen Elizabeth there. She's smiling because we are using her framework. Okay, our language is known as the Queen's language. Okay, we use British English. So when this framework is introduced to Malaysian students, it's going to be very special because the framework is actually a foundation for any international speaking test out there. Not only speaking, yeah, there are other skills as well. So it's like you're sitting for an international paper. It is recognized. Yeah. So in the new format, we have 3 parts: Part A, Part B, and Part C, Part 3. Yeah. So first part, let's look at the first part. It's always talking about general questions, where the assessor, he will be looking at your questions when you answer. How are you? How's the day today? What's your favorite food? Something related to your familiar topic, yeah? So next, we'll move on. Okay, I've just explained. So the marks are not given here. It's just to have an ice-breaking session. Okay, so you feel comfortable when you go on with the assessment. Okay, and you are supposed to sit with a pair. Okay, a pair of you and a friend. Okay, usually I allow my students to choose their friends so they are more comfortable when they're talking. Yeah, okay, that's part 1. Part 2, you have a picture story. Okay, so when I say I mention the word story, it means you have to know how to start a story, develop the story, and end the story. Okay, it is to make the storytelling livelier. Okay, and usually students try to forget. They forget of the small little details. You can actually look at that, and then you're given time. Yeah, you're given time, and you can decide. Usually the small stuff, I like to look at the small stuff and talk about it. Usually students maybe feeling panicky. It's very normal. So they just go 1-2 lines about each picture and then that's it. Okay. students, you have to put it in your mind that when you talk, you have to be, it's okay if you make mistakes, but with practice, by God's grace, you can achieve the desired results. Yeah, it's all about practice. Okay, don't be shy to make any mistakes. In language classes, it's okay to you learn through mistakes. Okay, after all, this is our second language, so no harm. Okay, everybody is learning something every day. Okay, keep that in your mind. So this is task A, and you also have task 1B. Okay, because you have two of you, so one person is given one task, different pictures, and at the end, when a person A talks, person B will be questioned regarding the story of the first person, and when it comes to person B, he or she will be questioned on the first task done by his or her friend. So you have to pay attention what is your friend talking, and you also follow the flow of the story. Okay, I'm just sharing with you the strategies. Yeah, these are the sample instruments. Okay, this is part 2. So I've mentioned earlier, what you need to do is you get used to storytelling. Okay, there are lots of videos up there. Okay, or you can practice with your siblings or your friends over video calls. Yeah, make it interesting. Okay. Then we have part 3. Okay, this part now it involves both of you to be talking and discussing to decide on something. Okay, you will be given choices. Out of the choices, you need to talk about the positive or the negative qualities, and finally, you must decide to one thing. Okay, one thing, and then you decide that you're going to get it or that's the choice. So while you are doing it, your dialogues, your conversation can go from agreeing and disagreeing. You must learn how to control your conversation, and you must have signals among both, yeah, to know where to agree, disagree, agree again, and finally decide. Okay, this is where a debate where you decide to win. Or you can say, okay, friend A, you are the decider, you always decide and I will agree to it. You decide your strategies, okay? All this, the assessor won't be knowing it. So it's fine. Examiner will be just hearing what, no interference, yeah? It's up to you. Okay, so if you see, we have 6 choices here, and they need to pick one, the best, okay? So when this is where I just tried with the pictures just now. So you have to compare and contrast, good or bad, and then you compare, and finally you can decide what to choose. Okay, so I hope this part is fun to do because you're doing it with a friend. Okay, this is there's some tips I can share, because you need to make sure how you can build your speaking fluency. Fluency means you talk with the flow, no breaks. And here, usually students they have fillers. It's okay because it gives time for you to decide or process the information, but not too long, not like a whole 5 minute. Okay, then the examiner will be looking at you and blinking. Okay, so you take a very short filler and you decide what you want to talk about. Okay, so usually when you want to build fluency, you need to have giving reasons, examples, paraphrase. Okay, all these are strategies to make your expression of your points better. Okay, so there are so many things you can find out. There's so many expressions. I'm just sharing a very simple expression here. Usually how you know the points, but you don't know how to express. So you have examples here. Okay. And it's very interesting if you can use all these expressions. Yeah, makes you more understandable, easy to receive your information. Okay, that's Harry Potter. Okay. Okay, we are moving on to today's lesson at page 141. Okay, so your close-up textbook and the lesson is speaking to you. Okay, just a recap before we move on to the lesson. So we're going to be looking at how to express your point of view on familiar topics using expressions, okay, to make your statements clear and understandable. Okay, let's go. Okay, if you look at your textbook, okay, we will be starting at task A, first task here, and it says work with a partner and answer these questions, okay? You and your friend, it's just like a normal conversation, casual conversation. Get the questions, yeah? Which is your favorite subject at school? Why? You see, when there's an answer and it is given with why, meaning you have to give reasons to make your answers more interesting and a bit longer. You don't answer like my favorite subject, yeah? Maths. Why? I don't know. It's very monotonous, no lively aspects. Yeah, you need to make sure the conversation can be carried longer. Okay, so which subject is the most difficult? Why? So you explain some certain parts. Maybe I'm very scared of the teacher. I just cannot do maths. Give reasons. Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to learn in the future? Okay, this is interesting. So you explain. You realize they did not put the additional question, meaning you are expected to learn to give reasons or examples. Okay? Can you think of something that you will be able to teach somebody? Teach somebody, meaning you must be good in it to teach somebody. And I'm very sure you students out there, if I ask you, you can teach anything online, how to edit, how to take good videos. I'm very sure. And I don't mind getting some help out there, yeah? Okay. These are some simple questions. I have some answers from me. Oh, some simple strategies, yeah? Oh, I love biology so much. I simply love to find out more about the facts of living things. Yes, I love biology. Yeah, but I cannot see blood here. I go black out. So that's the reason I couldn't become a doctor. And I'm here as a teacher talking to all of you out. Okay? Next subject, difficult. History. I think it's history because it has so many events and dates to remember. I'm quite bad at remembering facts like this. So I'm very worried I can get things mixed up. And my teacher was very, very strict back in school as well. Okay. Next question. Anything else? Learn in the future? Yes, I would love to learn about robotics to create online games. I see this very interesting. Yeah, I would love to have time to learn all this. I see all these young people very good. They're just clicking away and creating wonderful things out there. Okay? If you're familiar with Scratch, Microbeats, yeah, the wonderful projects the young students share, amazing. Okay, so can you think of something that I can teach somebody? Yes, I think I can teach people on how to improve their English language. Definitely, okay? I'm not saying I'm the best, but I know certain things where I can help people, especially you out there, if you're having any problems. Yeah, so don't feel that you're not doing good. You're doing good by just practicing. Okay. All right. So this is a warm-up session as well. So we are moving on to the next task. Okay. Look at the photos in D. Okay, you actually have to look at the pictures in task D under exam task in your textbook. Yeah, there will be a set of pictures on school facilities, things you have in schools. Okay, what students can use. Okay, facilities. Yeah. So decide which facility could be described by these statements. Okay? Okay, now you have to keep in your mind some of these facilities are not familiar with our Malaysian schools. Okay, this is based from Cambridge. So it's okay to learn new things. Okay. Okay, in the yellow box, yeah, you have computer room. I know you're familiar. You go for your lessons, yeah, ASK and so on. And you have canteen, your favorite place, not only to eat, to meet your friends from other classes and gossip and, okay. Football pitch, a place to play football. Okay, we have field here. Gymnasium, okay, gym, you're more common with the term gym, where you exercise and you have physical activities. Malaysian schools is always back to the field. Maybe certain schools they have, okay, not exactly a gym, but a room where you have for physical activities. Okay, library, a place to be quiet and read books. Most students rarely go to library, I know. Pool, swimming pool. Okay, there are schools. Okay, there are schools with swimming pools. Yeah, one is ACSE pool back in Ipoh. They have a pool inside the school. Yeah, and finally, common room. Common room, we don't usually have in schools. Okay, certain international schools, but common room is a place where anybody, when you are resting or you want to do something, relax, you come and get your rest there, okay, before you move to your classes. Usually in schools in Western countries, yeah, they have longer recess, okay, 1 hour plus. So after eating, they will need a place for them to hang out and relax. They can go anywhere, but common rooms are there to make things easier, okay. If you are not familiar, I'm introducing you the classrooms in Hogwarts, yeah, Harry Potter school, the school of witchcraft, yeah, where you learn magic. That is their classroom, and the picture below is their common room, Gryffindor. Okay, you have four groups in your Harry Potter. So Gryffindor is my favorite because that's the house Harry Potter belongs to. Okay, so that's a common room, yeah? Okay, let's look at the answers. The grass needs a lot of watering. Definitely, you'll be thinking why you need to water, because it's a place you need to play. So it's a football pitch. Okay, I'm giving the answer, yeah? Football pitch is always green, yeah? So you need to maintain so that playing football will be good and easy, yeah? Students can exercise there, but it's also good for parties. It's actually gym, okay? Gymnasium. Usually in Western schools, they remove all the equipments because it's a big room. So they will usually have their prom night, their year-end dinner parties. They usually have it there, okay? So we are not familiar with that, yeah? Okay. Students can surf the internet and use CD-ROMs. Definitely, it's a computer room. Okay, you have the access to use all this technology and so on. Yeah, I know you're all experts there. Yeah. Okay. Next, it provides students with a quiet place to study. It's the library, quiet place to study. Okay. Next, number 5. Students can do water sports. The clue is there. Remember, you're using your clue from a text. You're reading and you're applying. Okay. Water sports is definitely going to be the swimming pool. So the answer is pool. Okay, you practice. It'll be fun, yeah? To have water sports, you can relax, okay? Next, students can eat there, which is useful if your home is far away from the school. Eating place, definitely associated with canteen, okay? Okay, so the answer is not coming. Okay, never mind. It's the canteen actually, yeah? Next, number 7, we have students can relax there, which is good if the weather is bad. This is where you need the common room. Okay, so when you have a common room, you will have a place for you to relax. Okay, okay. There you go. The answers are here. Canteen, common room. Okay, so So these are the answers. Okay, dear students, if you see these sentences, they're giving you some points why the places are chosen for you as answers. Okay, quiet place to study, you're giving clues. These, please remember, we can use the same way to apply when you're talking with your friends to deliver your points. When you choose something, I already mentioned this. When you choose something, you need to say about the positive or negative values. So here you have some points to talk about actually. Okay. Now you're looking at the exam close-up. Again, in your book, I've mentioned in the previous lesson, all these colorful boxes, they have their what can I say? They have their benefits. Okay, they're actually offering you tips for you to be more comfortable throughout your learning. Okay, so here they are looking at changing opinions. Okay, because you and your friend can have different opinions. Okay, so person A says this and you say that. And finally, you have to agree on this before you make your biggest decision. So ask your partner for his or her opinion and about the options and give your own. Let's say you're talking about school facilities. You say A is good, but why? And then B says, yeah, I agree, but. And then finally, okay, I think this will be the best choice for our topic today. Okay? And then remember, it's okay to disagree. Okay, if you don't agree with your partner, you can try to change his or her opinion. But when you do that, you have to do it politely. Okay, use polite sentences, strategies, so that the changing opinions will be smooth. You don't want to end up fighting, yeah? It won't be looking good. Okay. And finally, remember to talk about all the different options. You have to mention all the options given to you. This is referring to part 3 in your exam task section. Yeah, the instrument I just shared. Okay, before you make a final decision. So if you realize it's all coming to you, yeah, you have your options, you talk about all the aspects, and you agree, disagree, you have a conversation. Finally, you decide on the final choice. Okay, all these are strategies. You take turns to talk. You cannot be saying just barging, just simply going, hey, I want to talk. No. Say, excuse me, I beg your pardon. All these are strategies. Okay? Okay. Next, task C. Read the exam close-up, which I did, and look at the useful expressions. Then work in pairs and try to change each other's minds. Okay. Whatever I've been saying, these are given examples. Okay. Student A, why it's important to use computers to study in school? You disagree. No, I don't think computers are useful. So you give it. But when your friend says something reasonable, which is good, then you say, yeah, I think I agree to that. Okay? So next situation is about library. You disagree and you disagree. Okay? Why? Because you are supposed to talk about all the options and decide. I'm repeating this so many times. Yeah, I hope you remember these strategies. Okay? And that's Professor Snape. Okay? He's a good man in the story, but he's very troublesome. Okay, he's very strict. It's Professor Snap from School of Hogwarts. Okay, and Harry's worst subject in school is potions. Yeah, mixing because he's the professor. He's very terrified of Professor Snap. Okay. Okay. So you have useful expressions, changing your mind. So you know it here, you know you have to say something, but how? What are the correct lines? So now you can have this. It's again in the colorful box in your textbook, on your textbook, okay? I'm just taking that from the book, yeah? Are you sure about that? Do you really think libraries are good? I'm sure it is better because I see now you are trying to agree. Yeah, just now you're questioning, trying to keep the points for agreement here. Actually, I think you're right. Yes, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. Oh, before this, I was not thinking. Okay, then, yes, I agree with you. Okay, you and your friend have to go through these strategies and you decide who will be the decider, who will have disagreement, and finally, who will be making the final choice. The signals are among both of you. The examiner wouldn't know this. You have to practice to make it work. Right? Yeah? And that's Hermione Granger from Harry Potter's best friend. Okay? She's a very smart student. Okay? Okay, finally, we are moving on to task D. Now, work with a partner and complete the exam task. Always read the instructions. Imagine that a school is trying to improve different facilities for students. Talk together about why these facilities are important for students. Always, usually, part 3, they will have the main question in the middle of the task. Which facility is best? So, even the question itself is best, singular. When it's a singular, you have to make one choice. So, the facilities given are all from our task B, where we just had the answers for the question just now. Pool table, swimming pool. Okay, these two different things. An introduction to pool table here. It's a game we play. Yeah, pool. Is it okay to have that in your school? You decide. Okay. Canteen, computer room, gymnasium, library, football pitch. So all these are school facilities. And finally, when you talk about, and look at the last line there. Now, decide which facility would be best. So again, you talk, you share, you agree, you disagree, you decide, and you make the final choice. Okay? And it's you have to remember you're doing it with a friend, so it will be more comfortable and natural for you. Okay? And at the side, that's Hagrid, the giant. It's half giant actually, from Harry Potter. A very good friend for Harry Potter. He really loves Harry Potter. Okay, Hagrid. Okay, let's say I give you time, you and your partner. You are deciding. So these are some ideas I'm just discussing. You can have different ideas. Okay. So swimming pool. I think you want to. If you're talking about swimming pool, water activities are fun. Okay. But on the other side, your friend might say it can be costly to build a swimming pool. Okay. A lot of money is needed. Okay. Then if you say library, a good place to have resources. There are actually no negative, I would say negative points for a library, but you might have some things to discuss. Okay? Or maybe you can say we already have one, why are we having another one? Okay. Next, you can say football pitch, and where you can organize matches. You can invite different schools. You can have friendlies, so you can make friends. Okay, good for your physical activities. Okay, but not all students can play football, isn't it? Okay, I can't play football. So what about them? Okay, so these are some points. You might have different points. Okay, finally, you need to choose the best facility. Okay, so you give points. I repeat, yeah, you're given options. You talk with your friend. Okay, and you talk about all the options. You give reasons. You give your agreements, disagreements, examples. Finally, you choose the best facility. Okay, so that's the purpose of your speaking strategies. All right, my dear students, that's all for today. Okay, before I move on, before I forget, okay, I have a link down there where I need you to put in your feedback on today's session. Yeah, it's given up there. So I really hope you take your time, a little bit of your time, to put in your feedback. Okay, it's very important. Okay, for me. Okay, that's all for a speaking lesson today. I hope you had learned a few useful tips for your speaking strategies, and you can try this with your friends. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you, my dear students. Take care. See you in the next session. Bye bye.